They are set for game number 4 at the Boston Garden. The situation, Montreal has not been swept since 1952. You heard Dick Irvin and John Garrett refer to that. Montreal has played 75 7-game series since 1952, having not been swept. So there could be history in the making this evening at the Boston Garden. Now remember, this is this could be the 4th time in the last 5 years that Boston defeats Montreal in the postseason. This is the 9th straight meeting. How about the power plays? So far, Montreal has really struggled in the postseason. They are 1 for 12 on the power play in this series. They're 9 for 53 overall in the playoffs. On the flip side, Boston has 9 power play goals in 38 chances. We'll take you to the Boston Garden after this timeout on SportsChannel America. Well, the Boston Garden may be old, but it'll be jumping tonight. The Boston Bruins getting set to take on the Montreal Canadiens. They are ready to go at the Boston Garden, and so are we. Let's get some of the feel of hockey in Boston, the feel of the anthems from both Canada and the United States.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing heart we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets with glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good evening, everybody, coast to coast in Canada, and you people in the United States joining us on Sports Channel America. I'm Bob Cole with John Garrett and Dick Irvin in the booth, and we're ready to go. So is Terry Gregson, the referee here in Game 4. And on the lines, Gord Brostiger and Dan Shakti. These are your officials. Well, Canadian fans are still hoping for that one big night from Patrick Roy. It had better be tonight. If not, it'll be a long time between games for Patrick. Andy Moog shows no sign of cracking, no softies. He just keeps plugging along. He's the Bruins MVP so far. Bruins start with Don Sweeney and Wesley, Juno, Leach, and Carpenter. The Canadians, Brisebois and Schneider. Keane, Corson, John LeClaire. Keane slapped it in. Morrison bumped Sweeney right off the bat. Don Sweeney recovers, gets the puck, and puts a pass out quickly. Bruins defensemen are moving up. And they're offside. Wesley shot it in for Bobby Carpenter, but he had gone in.
Changes, you always wonder about changes. Pat Burns is dressing just 5 defensemen and 13 forwards. Todd Ewan, the extra man. Not in uniform tonight, who played 2 nights ago. Kevin Haller, Chris Nyland, and Mike McPhee, replaced by Sylvain Turgeon, Ewan, and Stéphane Lebeau.
Boston Bruins naturally going with the same lineup that played so well in Game 3, relying on their defense and forechecking to keep the Canadiens bottled up.
Schneider inside his own line, can't stick handle out by Leach. Bruins are changing quickly. As a matter of fact, nearly got caught on that line change. Here's a long shot that misses the Boston net. Schneider lifted the puck back in. Canadiens clear the zone. And Don Sweeney, back of his own goal, starts the play out for Boston. He has to back up. Courtnall was coming in, and Moog saw. Moog cleared it away. Leach trying to shoot one down the ice. That is blocked by Carbonneau. Carbonneau again, stopping one. Trying to rush in with Skrudland. Courtnall in the corner. They bump him in on the boards. Courtnall gets it loose for Skrudland. He's tied up, though, by Don Sweeney. And Leach is out for Boston. Puck is inside the Canadian line. Wide of the net. Put it by Oates. Canadiens move up quickly. Gagnon, the defenseman rushing in. Courtnall going for the net. Gagnon back of the goal. Murphy lost his stick, but Murray will get it out for Boston. To the line, but not cleared. The shot in. Skrudland takes it back of the net. Tried to pass it out front. Ward Murphy all over him, but he still handles it. Now Oates got it ahead, and Dave Reed left it there at the line for Weaver. First save of the game by Patrick Waugh. From 70 feet. 2 minutes into the opening period. No score. Canadiens. Gilchrist. And another long shot. This time for Andy Moog. Gilchrist stopped it at center. Got away from Murray. Shot one in. And Moog again. An easy stick save. Bruins lifted to center. Schneider stopped it. Here's Kirk Muller. In for Savard. Gilchrist going for the net. Savard could not get the pass by Gord Murphy. Schneider drives one. Kicked out by Moog. The Bruins get out. Poulin coming in on the right side. Poulin driving for the net. Centered it. Waugh makes a great save as the Bruins come close to getting the first goal. But that's a big save for the Canadiens. Patrick Waugh.
Patrick Waugh gets a break as Glenn Murray can't handle the rolling puck. Dave Poulin slides it out. Now look at Waugh, hands it to Murray, but the puck is standing on end, and then Patrick reacts, gets the pads down, and makes the save. Canadiens have played very aggressively here early on in the first period. They did that in Game 3. Kirk Muller played well early in that game and then didn't do much. The Bruins defense is small. Brian Skrudland should be able to stand in front at will.
From the face-off, the Canadiens get the draw but do not get it out. Bob Sweeney brings it in and put one over in front. There's Turgeon, number 20 for Montreal, and he's gaining speed going in on Wesley. Bumped into the Boston defenseman. Lost his stick, tried to take the man. He did. But the Bruins shoot it to center ice, and we've got a penalty called in behind the play, I do believe. Terry Gregson, the referee, calling the first penalty of the hockey game.
Early power play chance for the Canadiens. Matt Hervey, he's the player from the minor leagues brought up when Raymond Bourque was injured. He draws the penalty. And here he comes right there. He's called tripping as he hauls down Gilbert Dion. So 3:03 into this first period, the Canadiens get a power play chance. Not very good, John, on the series. There you see a very telling stat on Montreal, the lower left.
And it started to go in the tank for them late in the Hartford series. They didn't play very well with the man advantage, and they've really had trouble against the Bruins. They can't decide if they want to ring the boards to get into the Bruins zone or try and carry it in. They've been caught halfway in between the whole series.
Canadiens power play now. 3 games down in this series to the Boston Bruins. Can't move it out. Not cleanly. Bruins are going to check closely. Reed and Poulin. Premier penalty killers for Boston up front. Don Sweeney and Wesley. Look at them. It's Reed stopping it. Reed shot. A hard one. Waugh saw it though. Just in time. Long drive. Missed the Canadiens' net. Who's got the power play so far? It's Dion now. Moving up. Turgeon going after it. Wesley lost the stick. Hill from the blue line. Wesley is nailed hard. And Turgeon, the Montreal Canadiens, going off.
48 seconds into the Boston penalty to Harvey. Turgeon gets called for a hook in the Boston zone. Along the boards, he turns against Wesley, who doesn't have a stick. And down goes Wesley, and away goes Turgeon. So the Montreal Canadiens lose their advantage. Turgeon in the box. John, it's cliche time for the Canadiens, certainly. But I suppose, really, if you want to get down to one of the most basic of all cliches, it's one period at a time, really. That's what they have to do.
That's right, and one shift at a time. Here's Dave Reed, short-handed, gets the high shot on Patrick Waugh. And Patrick was outstanding on his feet. He didn't drop down too early and made that save.
Here's Savard coming in for Montreal. Dropped it back to the line. Schneider kept it in. Savard has the puck. They're 5 aside. Savard winding up. Drilled his shot and missed the net. Comes off the boards and goes all the way down the ice. That is Juno chasing Brisebois, and he takes it away from him. Juno, great forechecking, but his pass missed Oates and got back down the ice. 35 seconds left in the Boston penalty. Waugh, the save and a long shot by Murphy. Canadiens move out. No score, first period. Nearing the 5-minute mark. Brisebois having a tough time in there inside his own blue line. Bruins are on it. It is centered by Oates. Shot by Wesley was deflected high. Here's Oates. He doesn't shoot it. Here's Murphy. Wow. Struggled with that one. It was up high and hit him on the right shoulder. He kind of pulled back and stood up before stopping it.
A rolling puck that Gord Murphy let go, and that's why Waugh was a knuckleball, almost a changeup. But at least Patrick stayed on his feet, stayed with it, and made the save.
This is reminiscent, Bob. You recall in the Hartford series, there were a couple of games, Holik in particular, they fired the puck high on Patrick Waugh. I know, John, you can sympathize with them when they do that.
Well, look at this puck. It's rolling when Murphy lets it go, and look at Patrick. He stays with it. He didn't flinch at all, didn't pull up, and stayed on his feet. We talked about the forechecking. You look at Joe Juno. They know they've only got 5 defensemen dressed. Every time they forecheck, they're going to take the body. Juno comes up with the puck. Joe Juno, a late addition from the Olympic team, and one of the players that Harry Sinden had a little trouble signing and threatened to play in Switzerland, and Harry said, well, maybe he should take up yodeling. But they finally did agree to terms, and Juno has been a pleasant addition to the Bruins.
A great addition to the Boston Bruins.
One of those flags up there is 1929, the first Bruins Stanley Cup. Won't bore you too much tonight with history, but the only time in 26 previous playoff rounds between the Bruins and the Canadiens that Montreal failed to win at least one game was the first one in 1929, when the Bruins won 3 in a row in a best of 5, and as they say, they went on to win their first Stanley Cup.
All right, face-off now in the Boston zone to the right of Andy Moog. No score, first period. Bruins will bring it out. Carpenter shot one into the Montreal zone, and back comes Digno. Bruins are in there, 2 of them. Make that 3 with Wesley pinching in from the blue line. Bruins are on a power play now. And the Canadiens, Cardinal trying to squeeze by at center. He nearly did. Poked the puck away, won't catch up to it. But Moog will have to hold it as he sees Carbonneau coming in. That will bring about a face-off in the Boston zone with 19 seconds left in the penalty to Turgeon.
The advantage of having a defenseman as your point man on the power play. Well, look at Wesley, watches the puck until the last minute, then looks over at Courtnall, makes sure that Courtnall can't get by, and lets his goaltender cover up. Russ Courtnall is one of those players that just has to get going for the Canadiens. They don't have a whole lot of goal scorers, but Courtnall, Muller, and Savard. And Savard has played pretty well in his defense, but Muller and Courtnall have been almost non-existent in the first 3 games.
Strudland on the face-off. He's there against Ruzicka. And they win the draw to the line, a long shot, booted out by Andy Moog. He drove that one to center ice. Really kicked at it. Bounced it all the way to center. Carpenter brings it up over the line. Bruins on the power play. Wesley! Oh! A great glove save by Patrick Roy. Well, that's 2 big saves for Patrick Roy in this first period, and that was a nice save with the glove reaching down quickly.
Glenn Wesley with the shot from right in the middle. Look at where Patrick was standing, and look at where he ends up. He starts to go down, but not the complete butterfly. He's halfway down, gets the glove on it. And look at Brian Strudland and Bobby Carpenter. Carpenter played very well in game 3 here. He just gets a stick hacked out of his hand by Brian Strudland.
Face off to the right of Roy. Coming up to 6 minutes of play in the first period. No score. Strudland and Ruzicka on this one. Dropped in. Bruins won it. At the blue line, it's flipped to the corner. Sean Hill, head up, and he comes to the line and gets as far as center before ripping it in. Teams are at full strength, and here's Strudland. Low shot, hold the save. Todd Ewan's first shift, and he was in quickly to slap at the puck in the glove of Andy Moog.
Situation is piled high with difficulty. That pretty well sums up Pat Burns right now, and I think that our coach in the corner is going to have something to say, I'm sure, about Pat and his position right now. It's a media circus in Montreal around Pat Burns. But here he is. Game 4, down 3.
And the face-off now in the Boston zone. No score, first period. Don Sweeney dances in back of the net. Played out to center ice. Bruins trying to move it inside the Canadian line. Now they do. Poulins knocked it off to the corner and chased it. Took a hit from Hill. Kirk Muller. Pass to the line, and Schneider comes to center ice, winding up. The shot spoiled by Juris. Muller upended, sliding into the corner, trying to sweep the puck behind the net and missed it. Don Sweeney gets out. Put it up to center. Lazzaro's high shot off the shoulder of Roy. So the Bruins keep going high on Patrick here in the first period. Brisebois on the glass. Canadians get it up to Muller. Muller, shot from the blue line. Off Weimer. Into Andy Moog. Weimer coming back out. First star in the game the other night here in Boston. Slapped in front. Backhanded into the corner, and the Canadians get it out again. Wesley. Bruins starting to look a little more organized now. This pass, however, goes astray at center. 7.5 minutes into the opening period. Not a goal yet. Wesley dumped. Puck is shot to the Canadian line, where Brisebois gives it to Daigneault. Ahead to Dion. He just knifed it down the ice. Now moves up on it. Dion and Corson. Corson's pass to Keane. He has to shoot it in. Moog out of the net. Keane was bumped hard. Puck over the glass. Into the crowd. 7 minutes, 50 seconds gone. First period. Scoreless.
Look at Ray Bourque in the press box with his cast. He's had 3 different casts on already in 3 days, trying to get something he feels comfortable with so he can play as soon as possible. They're talking about if there is a game 6, he'd be ready for that.
Here's Oates. Was hooked a bit trying to go in. Crowd saw it. Gregson didn't. And Turgeon brings the puck back for Montreal. Turgeon being bumped a bit as he tried to go in. There's Cordno. Murray hit him easily. Carbonneau and Cordno trying to get it off the boards. Turgeon comes in to help. And the Bruins get it out. Rifled back in from center ice. 8.5. Gone. First period. No score. Cordno along the boards with Turgeon in front of the net. Couldn't get the pass to him. Turgeon upended. Now he got back to his knees in time to take a poke at it. Murray against Schneider. Schneider had difficulty turning with that one. Gord Murphy now. It's played down the ice by Boston. Gord Hines. Waugh got his skate on the post this time. That's the same post where he saw Ruzicka hit a skate and score in Game 3.
Even though he gave up only 3 goals the other night, Patrick Waugh was dumped on from a lot of sides because of goal number 2, the one with 5 seconds to go, that Ruzicka scored. It was a soft goal to be sure, but let's face it, for the rest of the game, his teammates only got 1 more for him.
The Bruins are complaining now as Gord Brossiker has admitted that Patrick Waugh was the one who froze that puck. He made the icing call, and that's why the faceoff is coming out to the center ice red line. He's saying, yes, I did make the mistake. Now watch the Canadiens here. The battle along the boards. There's 3 Canadiens, 2 Bruins, and who comes out with the puck? Again, it's the Bruins. And that's the way it's been for most of the series.
Hines lifted the puck to the center ice zone. Canadians shoot it in. Murphy for Boston. That's intercepted. Leclerc kept it in. LeBeau ends one off. Bruins cover though. Daniel from the blue line. Shot was blocked by Juno. And shot down the ice by Leach. Icing will be called as Desjardins goes back. 9 minutes, 34 seconds into the opening period of Game 4. And no score.
All of this is interesting for historical purposes. I think the key one is at the very bottom. The Bruins have certainly got the edge in these last few years and have won 3 of the last 4 playoff rounds involving these teams. And this is the 9th straight year that they have played in the playoffs.
Bad luck. It might be the S word again.
Daniel shot one in there. A rebound came off Moog's pad, but the Bruins cleared away in front of the net. Canadians keep it in. A shot from the short side by Leclerc's block. Skrulin bumped behind the net by Murphy. LeBeau is after it. LeBeau trying to shake off Adam Oates and does. Has to stop in the corner along the boards. Pushing and shoving in front of the net. Gord Murphy and Skrulin. Bruins do not get it out. Now they will. Up to center ice. Juno gets up over the Canadian line. On with their brakes. He did not pass it back toward the line. He saw Leclerc up there. Now Daigneault has put it on the glass down the ice. They'll call that icing. Weimer goes back. The Canadians were changing, so a pretty good play by the Canadians defenseman.
Jim Weimer, as Bob mentioned, the first star in Game 3, 31 years old, and 5 different teams in the NHL. One of those players that has hung in long enough for the love of the game. You talk to Jim and you think of all the bus rides in the minors that he's put up with, all the times you get that wet equipment on after a tough game the night before. And he's finally being rewarded in the Stanley Cup Playoffs. Joe Juno's a quick skater, but look at Eric Desjardins. Guy has the angle, cuts him off, steers him to the corner.
Bruins up in the series, trying to end it tonight. 2 wins at Montreal. Winning Game 3 here in Boston. 9:35 remaining. First period here in Game 4 at the old Boston Garden. Dave Poulin has Joris and Lazaro with him. Bit of speed on that line. Weimer and Wesley are the defensemen. That is Gilchrist on the draw. Here is Schneider, the defenseman. Brisebois, his defense partner. Muller is on the ice. And Denny Savard, the other forward for Canadiens. Schneider moving it up. Dangerous looking pass. It ends up in the penalty box. As Schneider passed one back toward the line. Nearly had it picked off. Thank you, Ron. We'll keep you posted on that game, folks. Ron and Don are watching it as we work here in Boston in the first period with 9:21 left. Murphy off the draw. Everybody still thought maybe they were out of position. The play is underway. Uris in the corner, trying to kick it loose. Dave Poulin got it out to Murphy. He shot one in. The Canadiens Muller hit Murphy at the blue line. Here's Poulin shooting one, tipped wide, rebound. Great save, Patrick Roy. He was alert that time, folks. He appeared to be beaten. And Roy made a great play. Here's Muller going in, but the whistle had gone at the blue line. On the onside, the crowd still buzzing on the Bruins scoring chance. But this man was, oh John, he was so fast going across the goal line.
Quick lateral movement on the shot that's tipped and goes in behind. And look at where Patrick Roy gets his puck. It's on his back leg. Coming across, look at his back leg comes across. It was underneath him. He looked in the net for it. And watch Roy drag that back leg and make the save off Peter Duris with that back foot. And he's looking in the net, but he was good enough to get across fast enough to make that save.
Big save by Patrick Roy. 8:45 left in the opening period. Still no score. Canadiens, Desjardins breaks up the play on the line, and Keane starts Ewan back. Long shot gloved by Moog. Morrison coming in to charge into Wesley. Ruzicka ran into Hill. Here's Keane. Got away from Ruzicka, then lost it. He was upended. Morrison backing up. Ruzicka can't stop him. Morrison backhands it in for Keane. Don Sweeney takes over. Sweeney stopped quickly. Fooling Keane. Got the puck along the boards, but it hit Morrison. Keane now. Bumped by Sweeney. Dave Reed tipped it out over the line. 8 minutes left in the opening period. Canadiens putting something together now. This pass off Keane's stick down the ice. And Don Sweeney back. Both teams changing. This is Bobby Carpenter up to Adam Oates. Oates ran into Schneider, stepped right into him at the blue line. Icing will be called on this clearing play. Hines back for Boston. Icing against Montreal.
Well, Pat Burns working with a very young defense for most of this season, certainly. And the youngest of all is Patrice Brisebois, number 43, barely 20 years of age. And here a minute ago, he and Jeff Lazaro were playing tag with each other. And it was a pretty interesting confrontation, one way or the other. But in this case, Brisebois won the day and Lazaro didn't get the puck. Well, that save that Patrick made, John, Tom Barrasso could have done with that kind of a stop the other night. That winning goal against the Rangers. Hey, Denny Savard bumping. You should have seen Denny in the last regular season game, or second to last in Buffalo. First game after the strike. He and Dale Howardja firing their fists, hammering each other. John, you would have loved it.
From the face-off, Schneider can't move out. Murray and Oates get together. Carpenter waits on the boards. Bobby Carpenter put one in toward the net. With the goal post. Oh, what a chance for Boston, and Adam Oates had the rebound, and he missed. Boy, the Bruins came close. The screen shot got through. It stayed out, though. Bruins are on it. Working hard is Adam Oates. On the boards, away from Brisebois. Coming in. No shot. Backhand drive along the ice. Oates is in there again digging it out, but the play is called. The net is off the moorings behind Patrick Roy.
The Bruins are complaining, saying that Patrick Roy knocked the net off on purpose, and it's good pressure by the Boston Bruins, and not a bad play by Patrick Roy. He knows his team's in trouble, and he makes it look like he's bumped. There's Oates, and Oates just brushes into Roy. Now watch this. Whoops, sorry. About 5 seconds after Oates had brushed into him, Good smart play by Waugh.
Just a face-off, no penalty, but this shot got through along the ice.
It's tipped in front off a Canadian skate. It's Brisebois, and it hits the inside of the post, comes out. Glenn Murray again, creating havoc in front of Patrick Waugh.
So the Bruins begin to press again. Daniel trying to relieve the pressure. Takes it in behind the net, watching Oates out front. Oates is bumped by Desjardins, allowing the Canadiens to move down. Hines couldn't stop Leclerc. Leclerc bumped by Hines. Puck is out front of the net. Dion can't get on track. LeBeau tried to center it. Dion wrap around. He's tied up. Lowe grabs it and hangs on. Canadiens come close though. Boy, does Dion love coming around the net with that wraparound. Didn't score that time.
That long rebound, Andy Moe kicked out to center ice. I'd say he's getting a kick out of playing in his 100th career playoff game.
You look at Gilbert Dion with the wraparound try, but the Canadiens can't get to the rebound, and this is the story of the series. Look at Gordon Murphy. He let Dion get away, but then recovered.
Bruins get the puck out. 6:30 left to play. Period number 1. Leach is up on the puck, but Daniel is hanging in there with him. Juneau comes in to give him a hand. Juneau in the far corner against the Canadiens. A long shot blocked by Roy. And LeBeau got it out to the line to Daniel, and he flipped it in for Leclerc, but Wesley stopped that pass. Juneau is coming in with Leach and Donato, and the Canadiens break it up and storm right back. LeBeau comes in there. LeBeau feeds a pass in. Leclerc couldn't knock it down in front of the net, and the Bruins get out again. Juneau moving up. Left it up the line for Donato. Juneau goes for the net, the shot, rebound, penalty coming up Montreal. I think it'll be Schneider. Juneau was nailed in front of Patrick Waugh as he chased the rebound, and Schneider goes off.
Bruins on a bit of a roll. They're getting the majority of the scoring chances. Now they get a full power play, which they haven't had yet in this game. They had a partial power play, 48 seconds. Watch in front of the net. And on the left of your screen, you'll see Matthew Schneider right there. Dump the Boston player. Juneau goes down on the ice, and Schneider goes to the penalty box. With 5:33 left in this first period, no score.
The Bruins have outshot the Canadiens 11-7. And now they'll face a Boston power play. Weimer, Oates, Gord Murphy, Bobby Carpenter, and Bob Sweeney. Murphy goes over to the Boston bench. They need one more. Murphy leaves the Boston bench and comes back out. And now he goes back again. Ruzicka is on there.
And Pat Burns is complaining about this, and I don't blame him. That's an awful long time to get the 5 skaters in.
They have them there now. Carbonneau for the Canadiens. It'll get to the line, but not out. Oates shot it to the corner for Carpenter, and Bob Sweeney centered it. Nice play by Desjardins. Ruzicka was coming in looking for that pass. There's Sean Hill. He picked the opening between the 2 players at the point, Oates and Weimer, and shot it down the ice. 5:05 remaining in the first period. No score. Boston with a power play. Carbonneau tried to hit Weimer. He missed him. Ruzicka bumped by Hill, and that is icing against the Bruins with 1 minute and 26 seconds left in the Schneider penalty.
That was a good play by Guy Carbonneau at the red line. He challenged the Bruins before the red line and forced the icing. Now watch Guy Carbonneau come across just 5 feet before the red line. And that's what created the icing. A good play by Guy Carbonneau. Carbonneau doesn't have a point in this series. looked upon as one of the leaders. A lot of pressure on Carbonell, usually the checking center, the penalty killer, so you don't expect him to get a lot of points, but you do expect him to get some once in a while.
Minute 26 left in the Canadiens penalty in the face-off deep in the Boston zone. Gilchrist, Skrudland, Brisebois, and Daigneault, the Canadian penalty killers. Oates on the face-off for Boston. Tied up his man. The Bruins will have to go deep to start out, though. And now they move it up. The center is Oates. He had to shoot it in. Everybody was stopped at the blue line. Fired high on the glass. And out it goes. Skrudland was up there. Skrudland again. Bumping Juno at center. Daigneault brings the puck in. Took a shot that missed. Again. Juno bumped by Skrudland. Canadians doing a pretty good job here with 50 seconds left in their penalty. They're hanging on to the Bruins. Long pass up across center, and Oates takes it in. Has Wesley back at the blue line. Goes to the corner with it. Now it's back to Wesley. Wesley back for Oates near the line. Barely onside. Breakaway. Gilchrist. Wesley trying to catch him. Moog stops him. Gilchrist on a break, and Moog stopped him. Wesley was very tight to the Canadian player, though. Juno wrestled to the boards in the corner. 15 seconds left in the penalty. The Canadians trying to kill it off. They nearly had a short-handed goal. Bruins inside the line. Schneider stepping on the ice. The penalty over, and he joins the rush with Kirk Muller and Denny Savard. Savard tried to hit Schneider instead of shooting, and the Bruins intercepted easily and got it back down the ice. 3:20 remaining in the opening period. No score. Canadians going in there again. Savard overskates it. That'll be offside. Corson came in behind. Savard was offside.
At the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, the Penguins and the Rangers draw first blood. Former Penguin Randy Gillen weaves in and beats Tom Barrasso at 4:56 of period number 1 unassisted. Rangers lead it 1-0.
The breakaway by Brent Gilchrist. Now watch Glenn Wesley track him down 2 steps behind, but by the time he gets to the goal, look at Wesley's right there to get the stick on Gilchrist. And Andy Moog is there to make the save.
Moog was not going to commit. He just stood there and waited for Gilchrist. Well, of course, he saw Wesley getting closer and closer. Wesley did get a small piece of Gilchrist. And Moog just stood his ground and made the save. 3:11 left in the opening period. No score here in Game 4. Desjardins shoots the puck in. It took a strange hop off the glass. Moog gasped a second. Here's Savard. Twisting and turning. Put a play up there for Corson. Corson carried in on the boards by Weimer. Managed to get a stick on it for Skrudland. Skrudland shot it back into him. Again, Savard. Not given much room. Backhands a pass in there in the corner. Corson tied up. And the play is called, I think,
Weimer is 2 minutes away from getting back into the play, or the Canadians obviously hope less. And there it is in the middle of your screen. He's got, as Bob pointed out, he's got somebody's stick. He's just hanging on, Shane Corson. And he hung on to it just a touch too long. Gregson finally made the call. Montreal with a power play chance in this 0-0 first period.
And the face-off inside the Boston line. Corson, LeBeau, Muller, Desjardins, and Sean Hill, and they'll have to jump on it quickly. LeBeau made a play to Corson. He can't send another shot. He got it off Don Sweeney, who blocked the pass and did get a shot away. Hill comes back. 2:15 left in the period. No score. Montreal power play. Long pass to Muller. Hit a skate. And when offside, the Bruins clear it out, so the play goes on. And Waugh stops it for Sean Hill. 1.5 minutes left in the penalty. And 1:55 now in the period. Hill turning back. Makes his time coming out. Pass to the right side. Now Muller will take off and win with a LeBeau. Andy Moog put it by Muller to the far side there of the line. Desjardins couldn't get a shot. Out comes Poulin. He has Reed up there on the play. Here's Reed with that shot off Hill's leg. Poulin is dumped, falls on the puck, and gets a face-off. But it'll be outside the Montreal blue line. 1:29 left in the period.
Ooh, John, Eric Desjardins took a chance on a bouncing, rolling puck and fanned on the shot to spring the Bruins free on this shorthanded chance.
And Dave Reed knows what to do shorthanded. He tried to direct that puck through. He knew there was traffic in front of Patrick Roy. Didn't get through. Poulin's done a great job killing penalties. He's pressuring the young Montreal defense, and they panicked and just can't make a good play at the blue line. Stanley Cup logo in the ice, and there's some other logos in the ice here at the Boston Garden. I think we'll see more of that, some advertising in the ice in the old Garden.
Savard and Lazaro pushing. Face-off though. Lazaro trying to stay close to Savard as Turgeon carried it in. 45 seconds left in the power play. The Canadiens have not been able to get too much going toward Andy Moog with this extra man. Savard and the puck in Turgeon's skate. Savard again turning around for Gilchrist. He shoots it in with 25 seconds left in the penalty in the final minute of the opening period. Canadiens keep it in now. Savard's shot deflected high and wide. Schneider misses it. It's shot down the ice by Bob Sweeney. 10 seconds left in the penalty. Weimer ready to come back on now as the Canadian Schneider moves it up to Gilchrist. He gets to the Boston line and three Bruins are back there watching the play. They give the Canadiens very little room to move. Here's Gilchrist intercepting one. To Savard behind the net. Comes out front with a pass. Turgeon covered by Andy Moog's poke check. 20 seconds remaining in the period. No score. Brisebois shoots it in. Was hit immediately by Bob Sweeney. 10 seconds remaining in the period. The Bruins, Bob Sweeney saw Leclerc coming, moved it in. Raw made the save on the Duras shot from a sharp angle. And the Canadiens get to center. Time for the shot, and that'll do it. As Moog makes the stick save. The shots in the period by Boston 12.
So Patrick Roy skates off. No score at the end of period number 1 at the Boston Garden as the Bruins try to eliminate the Montreal Canadiens. More of our Stanley Cup coverage after these messages.
Sort of what it feels like when you run out of Molson. Molson, bringing you Sports Channel America's exciting NHL coverage.
Welcome back, everybody. The Bruins and Canadiens scoreless at the end of one period of play. Well, it's on to the Campbell Conference Final for the Chicago Blackhawks. It's time for golf in Detroit. It's the third time in the last 4 years that the Blackhawks have made the NHL's Final Four. Last night, they completed a 4-game sweep of the Dead Wings. And ironically, the last time Detroit was swept in a series, 1970, against Chicago. Last night, the fans out in full force for their Blackhawks, as they always are. And early in the game, a game within a game unfolds. The Jocelyn Lemieux, Bob Probert affair. Probert gets round 1. And to Jim Belushi's pleasure, who was at the game, a big Blackhawk fan, Lemieux wins round number 2. Watch on the top of your screen. Lemieux running Probert to the boards and to the ice. The physical play would continue in this game, this time in Tim Cheveldae's crease. Steve Larmer is there. Cheveldae doesn't like it, and Cheveldae lets him know about it. No score after 1 period. Second period, Jeremy Roenick tries to bang in a shot, and he gets clipped. Watch, a stick to the face. Valery Konstantinov, that's not allowed, but there was no penalty on the play, believe that. And then the Lemieux-Probert battle goes to round number 3, each with nice elbows, and still no call. Wings apply some pressure, but Edith Belfour is up to the task, stopping Steve Yzerman and Ray Shepard. No score now after 2. The plot thickens. Late third, Chicago with pressure. Michelle Goulet with the goal. Sorry, right across the goal line it goes. No goal. Then with 1:34 remaining in the game, it's left to Brent Sutter. Brent Sutter will take a pass and hit the score with a backhander right past Tim Cheveldae. The Hawks win it 1-0. Jim Belushi, where are you? Where are you, Jim? There you go, Jim. Throw out the broom. They complete the 4-game sweep. Chicago the winner. After the game, both coaches talked about it.
Bottom line, I think, in us winning the series was defense. We played extremely well defensively, and they got a little bit more offense going tonight, but for the first 3 games, for the most part, our defense, we were able to shut down their offense, and that was the difference.
It's difficult, and it's very disappointing. We thought we'd have some shortcomings in a couple of areas, but we thought we'd score goals, and we didn't score any goals. That's the bottom line.
All right, so the Norris Division Final is all over. It goes to Chicago. Here are the scoring leaders, brought to you by Air Canada. We now pause for a regional break. Welcome back, everybody. Only 2 teams have ever come back from a 3-0 deficit to win a series. If Montreal wants to advance to the Wales Conference Final, they will have to become team number 3. Trying to avoid elimination tonight at the Boston Garden. Let's take a look at the highlights. They're brought to you by Menon. Patrick Roy, the center of attention. He passes his first test early on. Watch him stop Glenn Murray with the sliding save. The Bruins aren't done, though, with Mr. Roy. Glenn Wesley cranks and fires. Won't see a better glove save than this. Way to go, Patrick. He's had a rough playoff series. No score at the end of period number 1. Boston and Montreal, the Bruins trying to wrap it up on their home ice. There's also hockey going on across the Atlantic. It's the World Championships in Prague, Czechoslovakia, the semifinals in a shootout. Finland defeats Czechoslovakia 3-2. Sweden wins against Switzerland. The final is 4-1. More of our Stanley Cup coverage. We now pause for a regional break.
You've heard of March Madness. Well, it's May Madness on SportsChannel with the NHL Playoffs. Follow the Wales and Campbell Conference battles as the best teams fight their way to the Stanley Cup Playoffs. We'll bring you dozens of games from around the league and across the continent. The Boston Celtics begin another trek to the top of the NBA when playoff action comes to the Boston Garden. Spring Fever hits with live coverage of the Get ready for the World Cup with the U.S. World Cup team as they challenge Scotland and Ireland in live telecast. It's all right here on Sports.
Watching the game between the Boston Bruins and the Montreal Canadiens, I guess you've sensed with the reaction in the seats here that Pittsburgh has finally put the puck in the net. Mike Needham scoring at 13:28, 24 seconds after the New York Rangers had taken a 2-0 lead. Gillen and Amante have scored for the Rangers. Now Needham scoring for Pittsburgh, 2-1 with just a little more than 6 minutes to play in the opening period in Pittsburgh. The Rangers lead the series 2-1. And Chinoff stepped back of the New York Ranger goal to knock the puck away from McEachran, and it comes to center ice, shot down into the Pittsburgh zone. Barrasso to handle it. Up off the boards, Wells corralled it, then McEachran knocks it away from him. John McEachran couldn't center it. Cleared out by Erickson, then he takes a hard hit. I mean, a severe punishment thrown by McEachran. And Chinoff trying to come off the right wing boards, gets tangled up in the Pittsburgh zone, and up with it is Ulf Samuelsson. His pass was in and out of the skates of Erickson, and then Samuelsson was flattened. Stanton with a pass into the skates of Mike Gartner of the Rangers. Gartner, big drive off Barrasso. Ends up in the corner, recovered by Yager, gave it away, and Gartner had a backhander that was picked off by Ulf Samuelsson. Erdina shoveled the puck toward Yager. He's up through the middle, 3 Rangers back. Yager splits them. Can't finish it off, however, and it's in and out of the skates of Messier. Ryan Leach moves it up ahead, and once more it's Gartner. Cross the line here, back to Leach. Tugging at him was Yager. The Penguins recover. Shell Samuelsson turns it over. Leach held it in with a feed to Gartner. Takes the big turn. Gartner dishes it off and out into the center ice zone. Back for it here is Bookeboom. Up to Gartner.
Partner squeezed off the puck by Herdina. Herdina dropped it to Yager, walks in on goal and is taken down. There'll be a penalty against the New York Rangers. Third power play of the opening period for Pittsburgh. Oh, do they need a goal here? We'll be back to Pittsburgh right after this.
Another penalty to the New York Rangers. This time it was the heat provided by Pittsburgh. Forced Brian Leetch to hold. Thought there might be a penalty shot. That was the crunching check moments ago on Eriksson by Kevin Stevens. And then as Yager grabbed the puck up the middle of the ice, you see Yager starting out, gets checked down at the other end of the ice as he tries to make a play at the net. He's hooked from behind. There's Yager, hooked from behind by Leetch. I don't think we'll ever see another penalty shot. Wouldn't the fans go wild here if that Yager young fellow was to get a penalty shot in this game?
And if he could ever finish it.
Oh, yeah.
Penguins get the draw. Played back to the point by McEachran for Murphy. Around the boards, but there's James Patrick. Tocchet took him off the puck. It comes loose. Eriksson trying to clear it. Could not. Murphy was in his face. Murphy sets up Stevens. The shot off the pads of Richter. Now it's loose back of the net. Hardy knocks it away from Murphy. And the New York Rangers are able to clear it down the ice. Pittsburgh has had only 4 shots on goal in this game. We've passed the 15-minute mark. The Rangers have had 11. Pittsburgh on a power play. Murphy across the line. He's given it to Stevens. Kevin Stevens goes back in the net. Shoveled it off to Tocchet to the point for Francis. Into Tocchet. Tocchet shoots. Turned aside by Richter. The Rangers are going to clear it out. Eriksson takes a hit from Francis after shooting it down the ice, and there will be a penalty. Ron Francis is going to get an...
So the Rangers in front by a score of 2-1 late in period number 1. We'll get you back to Boston after this timeout.
Round 1 of the Stanley Cup Playoffs brought you 16 teams, 54 games, over 350 goals, 7 overtimes, and 2 double overtimes.
Can't pull the trigger, gets it up, and they go!
Now, 8 teams move on to round 2, the division finals. Boston, Montreal, New York, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Detroit, Vancouver, Edmonton. Follow the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the network home of the NHL, Sports Channel America.
Period number 2 has just started at the Boston Garden. No score, Canadiens and Bruins. We take you back.
Because of the plight of the Canadiens, and Patrick Roy, along with Pat Burns, are taking most of the heat here in Boston. The Bruins are on a roll in the playoffs. The Celtics won last night over Cleveland, so they're doing all right. They have to take it out on the Red Sox, who aren't doing so hot on their current road trip. They're the whipping boy locally here.
And again, it's nice to have viewers in the United States along with us tonight for Game 4 here at Boston. They're viewing on Sports Channel America. We're coast to coast in Canada. The Bruins trying to wrap up the series, winning the first 3, 2 in Montreal, and Game 3 here. Canadians on the puck in center is Corson. Corson shot it by Don Sweeney and barged by him. In around the net, he's out front, the pass. Penalty coming up against Boston. The Canadians had Moog off to one side, but nobody could reach it because of this holding call.
Bobby Carpenter had hold of Gilbert Dion, and that prevented him from reaching that puck with, as you say, Bob, the net fairly open on that side. Here's Carpenter right in the front of your screen, hauling down Dion finally on the play. So after only 45 seconds here in the second period, Montreal with a power play chance, and their power play hasn't done very much at all here tonight.
It has looked dismal, and part of the problem is they're losing the face-offs in the offensive zone. Adam Oates has done a good job. Dave Poulin has done a good job winning face-offs for the Bruins, especially killing penalties, and that's a big part of your power play.
The Canadians have Gilchrist, Savard, Muller, Schneider, and Brisebois. Dave Poulin again on the face-off for Boston, and Reed will be the other forward with him. Gord, Murphy, and Wesley are the 2 Boston defensemen. Now we're ready. No score, second period. Canadians win the draw on the power play. Brisebois shot off the leg. Here is Schneider coming in. Shoots, and Moog was out to cut the angle. And he made the stick save. Savard is on the puck. Savard on the boards. Shot it in there. Moog down. Muller and Gilchrist were in trying to jam it by him, but he just held tight.
Andy Moog frustrates Brent Gilchrist again, but John, a scoring chance for Montreal, set up by, as you were pointing out, for a change for them, I guess you'd have to say. They won the faceoff.
And Denny Savard makes a good play on this hard pass, and look at Andy Moog. Gets across, gets down early, and then just covers up on the rebound as the Bruins come to his rescue. Gilchrist and Muller both there. Gilchrist gets it on his backhand, so it's a tough play, and he can't get it up and over the fallen goaltender.
Muller came barging in, but Andy Moog had the puck frozen, and another face-off to his left. Canadians come close early in the second period. Minute 44 left on their power play. Bruins get a chance to clear it. Moog pushing it over for Reed. Reed poked it out over the line to center ice. Brisebois backing up in his own zone. And here he comes against Poulin. Moved to the right and shot it in. Moog missed it. Kurt Muller there for Canadians. And the Bruins get it out of the zone again. Reed intercepted that. Oh, he picked it up in front and then lost it. Brisebois fanged on a clearing pass and nearly gave one away. Gilchrist is in with Savard. And the shot. Side of the net. Canadians fight for it in front of the goal. Scramble. It gets away from in front of the net. Gilchrist couldn't knock it down. Don Sweeney and Dave Poulin. Leclerc there. Reed again. And Don Sweeney with Reed 2-on-1. Don Sweeney trying to go in around Denny Savard, who was the only one back within reach of the Bruin. Reed shot. Blocked on the short side by Roy. Canadians move out. They have the man advantage. It is shot across the line for LeBeau, and he lost it. Bob Sweeney turning the other way for Boston. Shot it in there. Roy missed it. 24 seconds left of the penalty to Boston's Bobby Carpenter. Lazaro against Corson. That didn't work. Desjardins. Little pass ahead for LeBeau. He tried to stick handle in. And he was stopped easily and shot down the ice. That will kill the penalty. Carpenter is back on the ice. And the Bruins penalty killers get a hand. LeBeau and Corson. For LeBeau. He was stopped by Carpenter just in time. Turning and firing. Corson missed it. Dion had a shot. Lazaro dumped it in for Boston. 3 minutes, 10 seconds into the second period. And still no score in the game. Bruins trying to end the series. Rudlin fell. Desjardins covered up. Got it away from Murray. Adam Oates and Weimer are there, and there's Oates. He just lifted his stick. Dion deep in his own zone. Can't beat Oates. Shot high into the crowd. Sean Hill lifting one up. This game is coming to you from the Boston Garden.
Heard a fiddler on the roof. There's our camera on the roof with that shot. The Rangers leading Pittsburgh 2-1. That's at the end of one now. They say that this is the house that Shore built. As per Yankee Stadium, the house that Ruth built. Eddie Shore, the first superstar in the Boston Bruins when this building opened in 1928.
Portnoy and Turgeon on there for the Canadians with Carbonneau, but they couldn't move too far past center. The puck over the boards at the Boston bench.
See Rick Bowness get hit on the back of that one. He got drilled on the face and knocked out earlier this season. A lot of retired numbers here in Boston, deservedly so, certainly that one. And Johnny Busick, whose number has also been retired here, is now the color commentator on the Boston radio shows.
Andy Moog misses this one. Courtnall comes after the puck, centered it. Moog down, and then Courtnall races around the net. Gets out near the line and lost it. Driven back in by Schneider. Donato takes it, took a hit as he did. Here's Carbonneau shooting one, and he missed the goal. That'll come all the way back deep in the Montreal zone. 4 minutes, 10 seconds in the second period. Schneider played it ahead on the left side. Brisebois turning back against Donato. Backhands a pass ahead for Turgeon. Up to Courtnall and Carbonneau. That's broken up at the Boston line, and here's Adam Oates. He doesn't get too far. Courtnall coming in with Turgeon. Can't make the play. Wesley, a good defensive move. He skates out. Upended penalty coming against Carbonneau. Wesley was upended, and Carbonneau is going to get a tripping penalty. With 4 minutes and 37 seconds gone in the second, our Stanley Cup coverage continues in a moment.
The line with Carbonneau, Turgeon, and Courtnall looked pretty good on that shift. Very aggressive, had a couple of chances. And look at Carbonneau, gives Oates a little whack. But watch, Glenn Wesley looks up and sees Carbonneau, tries to avoid him, and look at the right foot. Carbonneau sticks it well out to get Wesley. I don't know why he would be complaining about that call.
So now a Canadian penalty. And Boston's Ruzicka on the power play again. Oates and Weaver, Leach and Juneau. The Bruins get organized. The pass to the right side to Juneau. The speedy guy is in there with Ruzicka. Centered it right through the crease to Leach. And Leach was tied up. There's Skrudlin coming back out. He's all alone on this play. Takes the shot, trying to kill a few seconds on the penalty. And the Bruins get it up to Oates, but getting back was Dino. And it's rifled over the glass into the crowd. Sean Hill.
Sean Hill is a brand newcomer to the Canadiens lineup in this series, an American from Minnesota who went to the University of Wisconsin, signed a pro contract just a little over a year ago in Montreal, played one playoff game last year and was injured, and has spent the entire season in Fredericton with time off to play for the U.S. Olympic team at the games in France. And boy, he has seen a lot of ice time as the rawest of the raw rookies in the Montreal scheme of things.
Yeah, what a confidence booster for the coach to go with only 5 defensemen, and you're one of them, and you have no regular season experience at all.
Boston again tonight without Captain Ray Bourque. They're nearing the 6-minute mark of the second period. Minute and a half left on the Boston power play. We have no score in this game. Canadians get it down the ice. Savard will go up there and circle. Smoke comes out. He nearly knocked it out of the air. Just missed it. Wesley. Left side. And Oates is going in. Oates against Desjardins. He turns to chase him. Wesley at the blue line. Here's his setup for the shot. And that's wide. Canadians get the puck to the line. It is called on the offside. It was out and in quickly.
Well, those of you who say the hockey seasons are too long, here's how it progressed through the calendar. The first time they played hockey in March was 1892-93, 99 years ago. Then they moved into April in the spring of 1920. They first played hockey in May in 1965 when Montreal defeated Chicago in the final series. This year, guess what? The very month of June before it's all over.
Well into June this time.
I think it was close where it would be right at the end of May or the 1st of June before the strike, but the strike clinched all that, and it'll definitely be in June before this one's all over. The Stanley Cup year.
There's the bank advertising. That's Indian for the word Boston. Advertising in the ice. I think we'll see more of that. You see a lot of that in the European rinks.
This is a power play. Boston and 40 seconds left on it. Ruzicka starting up the center. Flipped the pass into Juneau and Oates. Got by Juneau, but Oates shot it in. Daniel missed it back in the corner. It is centered. Again back to the line for Wesley. Oates, another pass. Juneau, no shot, scramble, and they get it out over the line. seconds left on this power play. Oates bumped by Skrudland. Oates got the puck again, slipped it into Ruzicka. Back of the net it goes. Juneau comes out with it. Circles to the line. Another pass in for Ruzicka. No shot yet. He lost it. Penalty is over. Carbonneau on the ice. And a face-off coming up in the Montreal zone. They played 6 minutes into the second period. This
They can't get the shots through to Patrick Waugh, but look at the traffic in front. There's Glenn Murray, has a couple of whacks. Vladimir Ruzicka is wide open. And the Bruins had puck control, but just couldn't get the shots. Sean Hill doing a good job on the bigger Vladimir Ruzicka.
Bob Sweeney, Carpenter, and Leach. LeBeau for the Canadiens on the draw. Corson is there with him, and Keane is the other forward. Desjardins, Schneider, the Montreal defenseman. Desjardins moving up on the puck and put it out to center. Weimer shot it back in for Boston. Gord Murphy is the other Boston defenseman. No scores, second period. 7 minutes into it. Schneider fell, gloved it, then shot it out. Weimer takes it from Murphy and gives it back to him, with Bob Sweeney taking it from him and shooting it in. Waugh stuffed that high one behind the net. Here's Keane. Left wing, Corson hit a skate. That stalled him long enough for Leach to line him up and hit him. He's hurt. Corson hurt his hand on that last hit. Seems to be okay, trying to shake it off.
Some of the isolation shots we've had of Canadiens rookie Sean Hill shows he might be a guy to add some muscle to the defense, but not this way. His shot is blocked, and then he wrestles Reed to the ice and gets the penalty.
You're playing the point on the power play. You have to get that shot by the first forechecker. Hill just buried his head and drilled it off Dave Reed's shin pads.
So at the moment, they're 5 aside, but the Bruins will have a 1-minute power play. Unless there are other penalties, of course. Bob Sweeney, Lazaro, Don Sweeney, and Gord Murphy inside the line. Kirk Muller for the Canadiens, Brisebois and Schneider, the defenseman, and Denny Savard. 55 seconds left in Carpenter's penalty. When he's on, the Bruins will have the man advantage. No score, second period. Savard dumped by Murphy, falls on the puck, stops the play.
Look at the Bruins defense. Gord Murphy, Gord Hines. The only 200-pounder they have is Jim Weimer. Murphy came over on a trade with Gary Galley. Galley wanted a new contract. And watch Gord Murphy. You wouldn't believe he only weighs 180 pounds. He plays much bigger than that, and we've seen that in this series as he flattens Denny Savard.
From the draw, the Canadiens get it down the ice. Muller going in there, giving Don Sweeney a hit on the boards. He bounces off and plays the puck, but not out. Schneider gets a shot, and he missed with that low shot. 2 Bruins on it right away. Lazaro and Bob Sweeney. Lazaro racing for the net. He overskates. 3 Canadiens come out. Up to center, Savard. He's going in there with Kirk Muller. Muller back to Savard and got by him. Savard going into the corner. Bob Sweeney now for Boston. He's bumped by Muller. Here's Savard. Muller in front of the net. Moog had to stop it off Don Sweeney. And boy, he had to move very quickly to snare that one.
Canadiens on the rush at a 3-on-2, and Kirk Muller threw a high pass that Denny Savard couldn't handle. But then the good forechecking of Savard and Muller set up this chance, and look at Don Sweeney gets a piece of the pass out. And there's Andy Moog. As Kirk Muller goes to the net, this little touch pass by Savard, a nice one, but Don Sweeney and Andy Moog both had their sticks up, and Andy picks it off.
8 seconds left in the Carpenter penalty. Then the Bruins will be on the power play. No score, second period, and we are nearing the halfway mark. Charbonneau winning the face-off, went right to the net, and Moog will force another face-off in the Boston zone, waiting for Carpenter. He'll be on in 4 seconds.
Andy Moog is one of the many NHL players who has his own golf tournament in the summertime, a very successful one in Penticton, British Columbia.
On the draw, Wesley for Boston. Carpenter's penalty has expired. He's off. Murray is on for Boston. And the Bruins bring it in. Weimer flicked it off to the corner. Ball was out. Couldn't play it. Oates slapped it on the boards. There's Weimer again. Looking back. And a got him behind Murray and down the ice. Cordnell trying to race back. Murray, a pretty good skater, got there at plenty of time. Jim Weimer away from Cordnell. Weimer again. Shooting it to the corner on the other side. That is Digneault. He fired one off the boards down the ice as the Canadiens are shorthanded for another 20 seconds. No scores. There's Cordnell doing a pretty good job hounding the Bruins. It is shot along the boards and got as far as center ice. Wesley nailed by Cordnell. And Cordnell is going off. Hill's penalty has now been served. The teams are at full strength. Schneider back of the net. Here's Skrudland coming to center ice. Leclerc finding no room on Don Sweeney. Don Sweeney caught him again. Skrudland to the line to Schneider. Low shot. Moog saw that and stopped it. There's Skrudland. He's tied up by Oates. Skrudland got a stick on it. Oates pushing him. Skrudland gets it. Throw it up behind the net, and Oates saw that play develop. At the line, Brisebois shot it ahead. Todd Ewan in there. Penalty coming up to Skrudland, I believe. He ran into Oates along the boards. Another Bruin player is nailed in the corner, and Skrudland is now being told he draws 2 minutes. Maybe 4. We'll be back after this.
Penalty on Brian Skrudland. Indeed, it's a 4-minute penalty. He received a cross-checking penalty and then a roughing penalty. That's the first one, likely for roughing. I don't know how they called this. And here's Pat Burns, who isn't pleased, needless to say. So Skrudland hammered 2 Bruins in that sequence and got penalized for both.
Russ Cordnell with a good hit on Glenn Wesley, and Wesley's playing as much as he is. The Canadiens should try and key on him. I thought that wasn't, I think that was a cross-check called by Terry Gregson, although it was more hitting from behind. But then he punched one of the Bruins after that little sequence. Now watch this. Now, it's not a cross-check, it's a hit from behind. Notice his stick. But either way, it's a 2-minute penalty. And now he gets another one after that, an undisciplined roughing penalty.
If the Bruins were ever going to do it, here's their chance tonight. They're leading 3-0 in the series. No score in this game. Now let's see how the Canadian penalty killers can pull this one off. Poulin is up there with Oates. Doris is on the fly. Reed is in front of the net. Wesley pinching in from the blue line. And the Canadiens get the puck out and down the ice. Hill is on there again with Digneault, the other Montreal defenseman. Gilchrist and Keane are the penalty killers up front. 4 minutes against Skrudland. The Bruins can't keep it in. 3:20 left of the penalties to Skrudland. Oates to center. Shoots it in. Raw missed it. On the boards, Gilchrist over there bumping. Cordnell's on the ice now. He'll have to skate hard. The Bruins on the outside pass it around. It is Reed centering it. Shot. Lost it. Score! Boston scores.
Poulin in front of the net. The pass comes across. And the Canadiens can't handle Poulin. The shot from Oates, and there's Dave Poulin banging in the rebound. Watch Poulin and Peter Douris go to the net. There's Douris, and they can't decide which one to take. By the time J.J. Daniel gets there, it's in the net. And now Brian Skrudland starts his second minor as the Bruins power play finally cashes in.
A power play goal for Boston. And we're working on the second penalty to Skrudland now. 1-0 Bruins. 12:08 the time of the goal. Poulin gets the goal.
Take a look here, Skrudland, that's the first call, I believe. Now he gets another call there as he clobbers Sweetie. And that's why he's in there with 2 minors, and the first one brings about the first Boston goal, the first goal of the hockey game, Bob.
As I said, 12:08 the time here in the second period. A power play goal by Poulin from Oates and Reed. Now 7:40 left in the second period, and the Bruins leading in the series 3-0 have a 1-0 lead here in Game 4. Skrudland is still in the penalty box. Oates racing back. Cardinal is racing in. Cardinal caught Oates. Rubbed him lightly along the boards. Carbonneau missed his man behind the net. Carpenter is going in with Juneau and Leach. And here's Oates again. Oates stopped by Carbonneau, and then Carbonneau intercepted a pass. Down the ice it goes. 1:20 left in the penalty. 1-0 Boston. Pass goes up to Carpenter at center, and he shot it in. Out of the net. Cleared by Muller, but got high and got in over the glass.
The crowd, who wasn't very involved in this game, is now heavily involved, and the Canadiens have to be careful. 1:07 left in the penalty to Skrudland, the second minor. If they don't let the Bruins just continue this and keep the crowd in. There you see that S-word, that sweep, sweep, sweep. Who would have thought before this series started that the Bruins would be in this kind of position?
Not the Bruins.
Canadiens win the draw and clear the puck. 1 minute left in that penalty to Brian Skrudland. Power play goal here in the second by Boston. They lead 1-0. Dave Poulin got the goal. And he's on the ice again with the puck. Took a hit at center ice. Reed can't catch up to it. Icing is called against Boston on that play. 43 seconds left in Skrudland's second minor penalty.
You know, John, there was a lot of talk leading into this game about the attitude of the Canadiens, how they were going to approach it. But what about the Bruins? They were in a position they were unaccustomed to, and obviously they've, you know, it's a lot better to be 3 up. They're in a good spot, but at the same time, they had to approach this game in a specific way. A
very emotional game in Game 3. You're without Ray Bourque, and you realize you have to play a little better to make up for that loss. But here in Game 4, you'd think they'd have a little bit of a letdown. They haven't played as well tonight as they did in Game 3. But guys like Poulin and Reed and the real hard worker lunch bucket gang has come through here again in Game 4.
Oh, without Bourque and Neely, they got a team of lunch bucket guys, really.
Right. Well, Dave Poulin and Dave Reed Poulin gets a goal and Reed gets an assist on a power play goal. Who would think those two guys would be on your #1 power play unit?
Carbonneau will try to win it. Cardinal was right. Puck goes into Gord Murphy of Boston. Adam Oates to center. He saw Wesley moving up on the play, but Dave Reed was offside. 31 seconds left in the Montreal penalty.
Now here's a guy who has played some very good hockey for Boston, and as John pointed out earlier in this period, with Raymond Bourque out, Glenn Wesley becomes really the #1 man, as the #1 man normally looks on. A lot of superstar or big star injuries in this playoff year. Raymond played all 80 regular season games. Now he's out. Mark Messier didn't miss a game, and he missed 3 games in the series. He's back now playing against Pittsburgh. Joey Mullen missed only 3 games all season. He's out.
Here's Reed coming in. He has Oates in front of the net. There's the pass. Murphy shot. Another chance for Boston. And Law makes the save on the Oates backhander. But Murphy had a glorious opportunity to put the Bruins up 2-0.
Boston's only 2 shots prior to the goal in the power play. The second one was the rebound that Poulin scored on. And here they get 2 more with Scoodlin still in the penalty box.
And look at where Patrick Waugh is to make that first save. Good aggressive goaltending by Waugh. And then he backs in, tries to find the second one. He's got it and covers up. The Canadiens get caught really deep, and that's why Gord Murphy is so wide open. Look at all 3 of them in tight to Patrick Waugh, and Waugh is fortunate he's able to cover up that rebound.
20 seconds left. In the Montreal penalty, the Bruins lead 1-0. 6:11 remaining. Second period, Adam Oates again on the draw against Corson. Corson tied him up, but Reed has the puck back to the line. Murphy back to Reed. Sharp angle. Looks back to Murphy, and there's his shot. Raw to save, and it's fired to the line. Wesley faked the shot. Juris side of the net for Oates, centered, and Raw covered up again. It's still in there. Another shot. Trickle in wide of the goal. Canadians at full strength now. They get it to the line, but not out. Reed. Schneider bumped him. Oates centered it. Again, it's shot around the boards. Wesley stopped it at the blue line. Brisebois trying to lift it out. It got out. The Bruins charged up now. They're leading 1-0 on the power play goal by Poulin. At 12:08 of this period. 5:20 remaining in the second period. Schneider put a high one down to the Boston line. Keane is up after it. Weimer stopped him. Don Sweeney took the puck. And it's played along the boards to Ruzicka. Bob Sweeney couldn't catch up to it. Corson comes back in. From the line is shot. Easy stop for Andy Moog. And he has plenty of time to decide what to do. He just planked it on the boards for Bob Sweeney. 3 Bruins charging in. Drop back. Donato. Raw saved that one. And he hangs on to it. Corson and Don Sweeney muscling it up and behind the play. The linesman, Gord Brassinger, got over there quickly.
Canadians have tried to draw some penalties at bad times. There's another one.
Now that the fans here are feeling a bit better about things with the Bruins leading 1-0, they're on to Shane Corson a bit. Of course, he was the one who was involved in the Ray Bourque incident. And now we get Corson and Sweeney in behind the play. Raymond Bourque, no blame on Shane Corson. He said, I do the same thing lots of times. He said, my hand was in the wrong place.
4 minutes and 43 seconds left in the second period. Boston 1, Montreal no score. They predicted a low-scoring game. It's been all of that so far. Bruins in there, and Waugh knocked one away from Leach. Here's Savard coming out with Gilchrist. That blocked by Murphy in the Boston blue line. Leach is pinned in on the board. Lazaro got in there though. Leach chasing it. He tried to hit Gilchrist and missed him. Lazaro falls, gets back up quickly, allowing Leach to dig it out. Lazaro and Desjardins were pounding each other. Desjardins checked it in by Lazaro. Daniel, pass ahead, 2 Canadians led by Savard coming in. Savard going for the net, centered it. Gilchrist didn't see the pass. Lazaro tipped it out to Poulin. He's in there by himself. Lazaro shaken up behind the play. Canadians get it out. Lazaro missed his man. Brisebois went sliding into the boards. Schneider dropped it. The Bull can't handle it. Schneider does. For Savard, who centered it. And that's broken up by Adam Oates to Duras. Hit by Dion. Not before he cleared the puck down the ice. It'll be icing. 3 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in the second period. And Boston on the Poulin goal leads 1-0.
The colorful landmark in downtown Boston with the clock. And our out-of-town score from the arena in Pittsburgh. The Rangers still lead it 2-1 here inside the Boston Garden. That's what the clock shows. Not 10 minutes to 9, but 3:28 left, second period.
And no matter what clock you look at now, the time is running short for Canadians. They're down 3-0 in the series. 1-0 in this game. Second period winding down. Poulin a power play goal at 12:08 of the second period. Oates and Reed got the assists. Bruins have outshot Canadians 21-16. And they're coming hard at Montreal now. They're getting the scoring chances. Duras kicks one in over the Montreal blue line. Sean Hill backhands it high into the crowd. Duras and Hill now. Dion is standing there. And a lot of words. That's about it.
We haven't seen much of that in this series after the whistle, the confrontations. Peter Duras and Sean Hill had a good check on Duras as Duras tried to go wide. And this is the result after the play as Duras has words with Sean Hill, and in comes Gilbert Dion. Off the face-off, Adam Oates is really a good defensive player, and look at Oates hang on to the stick, doesn't get caught. LeBeau tried to draw the penalty. Good defensive work by Adam Oates.
Juneau, Carpenter, Leach for Boston, Carbonneau for the Canadians. As Turgeon, Courtnall. From the faceoff, Courtnall backs up against Weimer right in front of the net. Good forechecking by Boston, but it's cleared to center. Courtnall chased it, hit his skate. He doesn't know where it is. Desjardins, so there's a penalty coming up against Boston. Patrick Roy has just left the net, and they have the extra skater on. They're in possession, and the long pass to center ice got by Corson. And as the Bruins pick it up, the penalty is being called. Now it is Leach of Boston who is going off.
Steve Leach takes a run at Matthew Schneider and gets a penalty, a chance for the Canadiens power play to redeem itself late here in the second period. Now watch Leach's stick right here. Schneider's trying to protect himself, but look at the stick almost in the throat of Matthew Schneider. And Leach is fortunate that Schneider wasn't cut on that one, as he had a stick right in his face and only gets a 2-minute penalty.
So the Canadiens power play, which has disappeared in this series, gets a chance to prove something again with this penalty and 2:20 remaining in the second period. A power play chance to tie it up for Montreal. It's out over the line. Two Bruins, Reed and Poulin. Does that sound familiar? Killing a penalty for Boston, and always a threat while doing so. Here's LeBeau coming in, and Reed poked it off his stick. Wesley back at the net, two Canadians on him. Don Sweeney gets the chance to move it out. Stopped by Brisebois. Slapped in. Wesley and Corson. And Leclerc has it. Leclerc looking along the boards to Corson. To Daigneault, the shot. Stopped by Moog. Poulin with the rebound. Shovels it down the ice.
There's a difference right there. The long shot goes in. Moog makes the first save, and there's no Canadians, whereas Poulin was right there on the Bruins power play to bang in a rebound.
Shane Corson backhands it in. 55 seconds left in the penalty, and the Canadiens are sent down the ice again. Waugh is out. Bob Sweeney was in. The pass to Schneider. He had to hurry it over to Brisebois. Now he backs up. 40 seconds left in that penalty. 1 minute in the period. Up goes Schneider. Gets up over the Boston line and then was stopped. And the Bruins shoot it down the ice. 50 seconds left in the period, 25 on that penalty to Boston's Leach. There's Reed. What a job he's doing. Poulin is on the ice again. This is Gilchrist for Montreal with Muller. Bruins keep breaking it up. Keep sending it out. Poulin falls, cleared it. 5 seconds left of the penalty. Leach is on the ice. And the Bruins are in control. Only a goal, mind you. Leach is offside with 19.5 seconds left in the second.
In Pittsburgh, the Rangers widen their lead. Brian Leach with the shot, and it's Mark Messier with the goal after a 2-game absence with back spasms. He scores. The Rangers up 3-1 in the second.
Winding down for Pat Burns and the Canadiens here in the second period. 1-0 Boston. Just under 20 seconds left in this period. Daigneault and Brisebois. Here's Brisebois. Poked it to the line, not out. Dave Reed was there. It's stopped at center now by Wesley, and in it goes. That will kill the period. 4 seconds remaining in the period. The fans give the Bruins a hand. They lead 1-0. The puck is shot into the stands on the siren.
Not bad play from Patrick Roy, but Boston has a goal. They are 20 minutes away from sweeping the Montreal Canadiens. More of our Stanley Cup coverage after this timeout on SportsChannel America.
They must have heard the good news. Molson's 35-year history with the NHL is going to continue. Molson, bringing you SportsChannel America's exciting NHL coverage.
If you're looking for a little excitement, a shot in the arm, or something with a bit more punch, check out the Stanley Cup Playoffs. SportsChannel America, the network home of the NHL.
Boston in front of Montreal 1-0 now at the end of 2 periods of play. Well, the faces may have changed, but the winning remains the same in Edmonton. The Oilers are now 1 win away from advancing to the Campbell Conference Final against the Chicago Blackhawks. Last night at the Northlands Coliseum, the Oilers simply found a way to win. The game got ugly and early. Esa Tikkanen dives to the net with Gerald Diddick. Tikkanen goes down in a bloody heap. You get revenge, though. Vancouver tried to get on the board first, but Denny Morrell ruled that Trevor Linden knocked the net off before Cliff Ronning scored. No goal. You see the net is off. Good call. Edmonton drew first blood on the scoreboard in the first period. Peter Klima dances around Gerald Diddick and scores his first of the playoffs. 1-0 Edmonton. 1 minute later, Vancouver will tie it, though. Watch Adrian Plavsic. He will skate in and beat Bill Ranford. 1-1 the score. With time winding down in the first, Kelly Buchberger makes a great move and sweeps a pass over to Tikkanen, who scores the goal. 2-1 Oilers. Then a fight breaks out. Craig McTavish gets in a few punches, all in a day's work. Late in the second period with the score tied up at 2, Scott Mellenby will flick in a rebound off a Dave Manson shot. 3-2 Edmonton. Vancouver's frustrations came out at the end of the third period, though. Craig McTavish and Sergio Momesso try to get at each other as they swing the sticks. It got ugly. Cooler heads finally prevailed. Edmonton wins 3-2, the final score, and they now lead in the best of 6 games to 1. Tomorrow night here, we'll try to wrap it up in game number 5 of the Smythe Division Final. 10 o'clock. Back, everybody. 1-0 at the end of 2 periods of play. They're playing the Patrick Division Final, game number 4 at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. The Rangers lead the best-of-7 series 2-1. Some questions. Would Mark Messier and Rick Tocchet be in the lineup? Let's take a look at the highlights brought to you by Menon. Mr. Messier back in action in the pregame skate. And Rick Tocchet, who had a bad shoulder, he's set to return for the Penguins. First period, Randy Gillen, the former Penguin, finds a seam and slides a backhander right here. Pretty play past Tom Barrasso. 1-0 Rangers. Then the Rangers get a breakaway, and it comes from Tony Amonte. He beats a sprawling Barrasso. 2-0 Rangers. Just 24 seconds later, though, Pittsburgh answers back. Mike Needham picks up his own rebound and puts it past Mike Richter. 2-1 Rangers after one. Second period, Rangers with a two-man advantage. The puck deflects over to Mark Messier, who puts it in, his sixth goal of the playoffs. Rangers lead it by a score of 3-1 in the second period. We now pause for a regional break.
Larry Bird was born to be a champion. He was instilled with a competitive fire and passion that would never die.
One way or another, Bird kills you. Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ line.
Larry Joe Bird was destined for glory in the game he loved. Get Bird watching at its best in this amazing video. Larry Bird, a basketball legend. It's free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated, the best way to capture all the drama of sports every week.
There's only one place I'd rather be, French Lick.
Through rare footage, you'll follow the victory trail from the cornfields and basketball courts of Indiana to the hallowed halls of the Boston Garden, where the talented young Hoosier resurrects a fallen dynasty. Call this toll-free number now and be there when the championships are won. Share the glory, live the moments with the man who touched all who saw him play.
Larry Bird never quits. He has eyes all around his head.
We can always give it to Larry, and he'd step back and shoot a three.
Bird for three. Yes!
Exclusive footage captures the hard-fought and emotional duels with longtime rival Magic Johnson.
This game is Larry Bird's. He's doing everything.
This official NBA video is a thrilling 60 minutes that you'll enjoy again and again, free from Sports Illustrated. Get your free video and a full year of Sports Illustrated. 54 issues, including the swimsuit issue, for only $1.29 an issue. Save over 55% off the cover price. And you may use your credit card. Follow all your favorites and all the excitement in Sports Illustrated. Call now to subscribe or renew and get this memorable video free. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. Don't miss this heartwarming tale of a boy who lived his dreams, the dreams of a champion. It's the story of a legend. The legend lives in Sports Illustrated. Call now.
We're going to take you out to Pittsburgh. The Penguins on a power play, trailing the Rangers 3-1.
Stevens on the other. We welcome those of you who have been watching the game between the Bruins and the Canadiens. Here at Pittsburgh, the Rangers lead by a score of 3-1 with a minute and a half to go in the second period, but Pittsburgh is on the power play for the fifth time in the game. Larry Murphy dumps it in from center ice. Richter goes out of the net to cut it off. It bounced over his stick and went right to Tocchet. Can't get it to Stevens, and the Rangers clear the zone. Murphy has to hustle. Broughton was moving up. Broughton and Messier killing it off. Francis is into the Ranger zone, playing it around the end board. Stevens on the left side is bumped by Patrick. Rick Tocchet centers it back. Off the skates of Murphy. Dives to keep it in the zone. Ron Francis now turns, moves it back to the point. This is Murphy. Larry Murphy's drive is blocked by Messier. Francis picks it up, centers it across, and it's blocked by James Patrick. Tocchet was there, didn't move toward the puck, and it never got to him.
Just another weak pass, Jags, another poor selection. Not enough intensity when they get in the offensive zone on the power play.
Half a minute remaining here in the period. McEachran gets the puck back toward Phil Bourque. In around behind the net. Stevens was bumped off it by Bookaboo. Now Francis gets to it. To McEachran, to Stevens, back of the net. Looks to Bourque out in front. Stevens handling it here, and his shot went wide. Stanton off the left point with 10 seconds to go. Stanton trying to get around a check. Puts it in the goal mouth, and they bang it in. Ronnie Francis.
He's played his heart out in this series, particularly the last 3 hockey games, and it's paying off. Pittsburgh finally make the Rangers pay a little bit. They get their second goal. They move within 1. A power play goal for Pittsburgh. See Francis as he picked it up. Good move here.
Stanton makes a beautiful move. He faked it, then he held it, and he moved to the center of the ice. That spreads out the penalty killer some. There's Francis as he takes a backhand pass, I believe, from Stevens, Kevin Stevens, and pops it in.
His fourth goal in this series against the Rangers. And we're close again at the end of the second period. 3-2, the Rangers leading the Penguins.
So the Penguins hanging tough as Ron Francis gets a goal in the waning seconds of the period. 3-2 Rangers after 2. More of our Stanley Cup coverage after these messages.
Sports Channel's 4 rules for following the NHL playoffs. First, watch the primetime game. Second, wait for score updates and join other close games as they happen. Third, stay tuned for the late game. Fourth, tune on again tomorrow night. Sports Channel America, the network home of the NHL.
Welcome back to our studios. Let's get you caught up on the scores. After 2 periods, the Rangers lead the Penguins by a 3-2 score. We showed you Ron Francis's goal. It came at 19:54 of that second period. It was a power play goal. Kevin Stevens and Paul Stanton on the assists. All right, the Montreal Canadiens trying to avoid being swept by the Boston Bruins at the Boston Garden. 2 periods complete. Boston in front 1-0. It was Dave Poulin's power play goal at 12:08 of period number 2 that gave Boston the goal. So far, Boston with 21 shots on net. Patrick Roy has been good for the Montreal Canadiens in this game. He struggled all series long, and it's a situation where now Montreal's anemic offense has to get going or they're going golfing. And tomorrow night we're going back to the Campbell Conference with the Edmonton Oilers and Vancouver Canucks. Game number 5 of the Smythe Division Final. It starts at 10 o'clock. Edmonton leads in the best-of-7 series 3-1. Then on Monday evening, if Montreal can stave off elimination, they'll get back to home ice to take on the Boston Bruins. That at 7:30 once again. That is only if Montreal wins this evening. Or some of you will see the New York Rangers and Pittsburgh Penguins from Madison Square Garden at 7:30, that on Monday night. Well, we're getting set to take you now back to the Boston Garden for period number 3. It's do or die for Montreal.
So the Bruins are 20 minutes away from eliminating the Canadiens. And moving on. Poulin is dumped near center by Dion, who now shoots the puck in. Hogue steering it aside. Savard going after it. And it is Dave Poulin again, galloping out to center ice. In with Doris, the pass intercepted. Muller took a quick look and skated himself with it. Pinned on the boards, keeps going now. Centered it, got by Savard. Desjardins shot. Hogue, a nice pad save on that shot from inside the blue line. Dion left it there in the corner, as did Muller for Savard. Savard to Muller, in close, the backhander, rebound, and a penalty coming up. It might be Dave Poulin of the Boston Bruins who'll go as he sailed into Kirk Muller, who came close to tying this hockey game.
Oh boy, Andy Moog tested by Muller, and before that, Johnny made a great pad save off Eric Desjardins' shot. Here's the play that leads to the good save by Moog and the penalty call on Dave Poulin, who has been outstanding tonight. Bruins lose a pretty good penalty killer.
And look at this save on a screen shot. There's the save. Now look at Gilbert Dion, can't pick up the rebound. And Dave Poulin tackled Kirk Muller in front, takes the penalty. Consider that a good penalty.
Face off deep in the Boston zone, and there's the best penalty killer on the Boston team in the box for interference. Gilchrist, Corson, LeBeau, Brisebois, Schneider, all up for Montreal, and the Bruins. Weimer shot it to the open side. It goes all the way back in the Montreal zone. Adam Oates is on with Dave Reed. Murphy and Weimer are the defensemen. 1:45 left in the penalty. Poulin of Boston. In goes Stéphane LeBeau. Tried to go in himself. Canadians stop it at the line and push it into the net, but it's cleared away by Murphy. Down the ice. Bruins change. Oates is off. Bob Sweeney is on. He stopped Gilchrist. The puck is in the penalty box. Sweeney and Poulin. We are 1:24 into the third period. Leslie will send the Canadians back in their own zone. 1:18 left in the penalty. To Dave Poulin of Boston. Daniel was slow at starting out. Lazaro was skating in there, so is Bob Sweeney. Now Desjardins out to Corson. Corson played it to LeBeau, and he whipped it in behind the net. Moog was out quickly. Bruins get it out again. The hit Desjardins got to center. Desjardins hammers it back inside the Boston line. 50 seconds left in the penalty. And again, it's shot high, and the faceoff will be in the box. Well, a big game for the Rangers also, but Pittsburgh with those injuries. And without Mario, the Bruins here without Ray Bork, leading 1-0.
Bruins fans saying hi to Edmonton. They play in Vancouver tomorrow night. We'll have that one.
Long way to go on this one yet. And again, we'd like to welcome our viewers south of the border in the United States on SportsChannel America, coast to coast, of course, on Hockey Night in Canada on the CBC for all of Canada. The Bruins here. Shooting at the center is Reed to Oates. Oates flipped the shot toward the net. And Waugh stopped that. Wasichka is on it, trying to center it. A penalty coming up against the Montreal Canadiens. With 26 seconds left in Dave Poulin's penalty. The Canadiens get one now. Dion goes off. Tonight's game is coming to you from the Boston Garden.
Well, the Canadiens did not get a shot on goal through the first minute and 34 seconds of the Poulin penalty. Now the teams are 5 aside. And this infraction happened deep in the Boston zone. It's called a slash on Gilbert Dion. They went up to the other end of the rink. By the time the Canadiens touched the puck, the call was made. So another power play chance goes the way of all flesh as far as the Canadiens are concerned.
They're 5 aside on this face-off to the right of Patrick Roy. Canadiens get it to the line and out. Muller fired it to center to Savard. He missed him with the pass. Shot back in by Boston. Oates reaching for it. Canadiens, Muller had it on a skate and didn't know it. Desjardins has to hustle back. Waugh flipped it around the net. Donato is in there for Boston. Fights it off the boards for Oates. Poulin's penalty is over. He's in there. And Boston is on the puck. Murphy lost possession, and it's out over the line again. Adam Oates brings it in quickly on a power play. Boston. Oates gets set, passed it back in front, and Savard shot it away. 1:15 left in the Canadian penalty. Dion is in the penalty box for slashing. Boston leads 1-0, and a chance to go up 2-0 now. And that would be a huge lead the way this game is going. Canadiens are in now. Quick pass, didn't get out front to Cordnell. Daniel can't keep it in. Cordnell comes all the way back in his own zone. 48 seconds left in his team's penalty. Pretty good penalty killing by Russ Cordnell. Shot it down the ice. 40 seconds left on this power play for Boston. Poulin takes the pass. He has the only goal in the game in a Boston power play in the second period. 30 seconds left in this Canadian penalty. Weimer has to hurry back. Cordnell is charging it after him. Dave Reed picks it up with 20 seconds left on the power play. Boston moving it out. Up the center is Wesley. He gets to the line. Passes off on the left side, and there's Reed. Can't center it. 8 seconds left in the Canadian penalty. Leach pushed it on the boards by Desjardins. Schneider wrapped it hard in the corner. It'll come to the line, but not out. The Canadian penalty has expired. Dion is on the ice. 1-0 Boston. Big scramble for it. And they slap it to the line, but not out. Close quarters, and the Bruins won that little battle. And they're ahead in the big one now. 1-0, third period, game 4. They're up 3-0 in the series, trying to eliminate the Canadiens tonight. Juno shoots. Wow, the save. Bruins pressing. Carpenter missed it. Corson got it to center. Did not make a clean play. Corson again. Shot it in. Got it by Juno. And Don Sweeney around the net for Boston. Juno will make sure it gets out. Nearing the 6-minute mark of the third period, Boston shooting it down the ice. An icing called against the Boston Bruins. Shots at this point, 23-19 in favor of Boston. They're up 1-0.
On that last line change, Shane Corson talked to the Bruins bench. There's Bobby Carpenter trying to kick Corson's feet out. Corson looks over at referee Terry Gregson, doesn't get a call. And then he had words with Jeff Lazaro as he went to sit on the bench. They have a piece of glass now between the two benches. There didn't used to be. There used to be a lot of shouting back and forth between the two benches here.
Now we're ready for the face-off to the left of Andy Moog. Canadians win it. Brisebois, low shot, stick save Andy Moog. LeBeau hustles for it. In back of the net is Leclerc. He centered it. Hit the side of the goal. Turgeon can't move it out front. There's Turgeon again. Hangs on to it. Adam Oates is all over him. Turgeon fighting Oates off the puck. So Weimer comes in to help. And he shoots it around the boards and it comes out. Murray takes it up for Boston. Stopped at the Montreal blue line. Turgeon got it ahead. Leclerc shot one in. Blocker save. Another shot. And that is blocked in front by Gord Murphy. We have 13-15 period.
Come from behind 3-0 and win the series. The Leafs in the finals against Detroit in '42, and the Islanders in a quarterfinal series with the Pittsburgh Penguins in 1975.
And the Canadiens remain in striking distance of the Boston Bruins, who are up 3-0 in this series now. Remember, way back to March 3rd, Canadiens having a tough time on the road. Couldn't win in Hartford. Need to win here in Boston, or this season is over. Allow the Bruins to march on. Well, it's 1-0 Boston. We're in the third period. Poulin, a power play goal in the second. The only scoring play. There's a shot. And Moog had trouble with that. I don't know if he saw it right away. Another long shot doesn't get through. Desjardins holding it outside the line. Now he lost it. Donato sending 3 Bruins in. Donato with Bob Sweeney. And again, Patrick Roy is asked to come up big on Juno, who was set up.
John, another play that started when the Canadiens failed to get the shot past the man who was challenging the point man at the blue line.
A young defense, you have to get that shot by the first guy. Now watch Patrick Roy. He's in good position, and that's why he gets it. It's off his shoulder. He can't find it. But then he felt it as it was dropping down his equipment. So he falls down, makes a save. Now watch Andy Moog on this quick wrist shot from Russ Courtnall. It's a high, hard one, goes off the glove, off the mask, and just missed the net. Russ Courtnall quickly to the inside, uses the defenseman as a screen. Moog didn't pick it up.
Dion a little anxious. The puck was not dropped. Muller and Poulin are squaring off of this face-off. Schneider goes around the net. Get away from Juris. Shot ahead. The pass intended for Savard didn't work. Lazaro back in with it. Here comes Dave Poulin. He took it hip high and carried into the corner before falling. Getting back up. Moving it with a skate. Holding it on the boards. Juris around the net. Centered it. And the Canadiens just hang on and are happy to clear it out. 12:45 remaining in the third period. Boston 1. Montreal no score. The pass comes to the right wing for Poulin. Murphy is up there to poke it up across the Montreal line. Muller back in. Backhand pass in off the boards. And the Bruins are back quickly. The Canadiens do not get in fast enough. It is Wesley backing up. Murphy slides it ahead. Bruins get it out. Poulin poking at it. Got it up over the line. Dion couldn't trap it. Now he takes it from Murphy. Goes in there with Kirk Muller and Reed. Just poke checked it away. Don Sweeney racing in for Boston. Sweeney coming in on the backhand. Falls back of the net. Leach centered it. Reed back of the goal. Can't get it out. Here's Adam Oates. It is centered. Hit the side of the net. Canadians poke it away. Keane trying to catch up, but Don Sweeney will beat him to it. Took the hit as he picked it up. Weimer hit his man. They hold it in on the boards. It comes loose. Daigneault stops it. Takes a shot. That hit Oates. Bounced to Don Sweeney. He wrapped it hard the other way. And the Bruins again have it go high up their bench. By the Boston line.
Brought to you by Menon. Mark Messier, a question mark for the Rangers heading into game number 4. He scored in the second period and now scores 46 seconds into period number 3. The Rangers in front of the Penguins by a score of 4-2 as they try to take control of the series.
He's shaking his head, folks. Still, remember that one.
Tom Barrasso played so well after the first round last year. Consistency was his name down the stretch in the playoffs. And this year, he's back to his old ways.
Andy Moog is back to his old ways, too. He's got a shutout going against the Canadiens in this one. They're nearing the 9-minute mark of the third period. Dave Poulin, the only goal in the Boston power play at 12:08 of the second period. Gilchrist around the net. Here's Corson. Can't get over the line. Hard hitting at center, Daigneault and Bob Sweeney. You look at the Bruins lineup and you have to say, who are these guys? They're ahead 3-0 in this series and 1-0 in this game.
How many times have the Canadiens had to try that 40-foot pass just because of the pressure of the Bruins and how the Bruins clog up that neutral zone? It's hard to make that pass. There it's a two-line pass to Gilchrist, but all night long they've had to try and bank it off the boards, get it around the forechecker, and it's a tough business.
Matt Hervey in the lineup tonight. Jim Weimer again playing a solid game. Joe Juneau, Bobby Carpenter, Peter Duras, Jeff Lazaro, Dave Reed. Great penalty killing. Boy, they've been solid, and they have been working. Giving Andy Moog all kinds of protection. Canadians have not had too many, if any, real close-in scoring chances. Breakaway early in the game. Gilchrist couldn't score. Canadians shoot it in. Murphy around the net. Pass to the left side. And again, it is Weimer shooting it out. Desjardins backing up. LeBeau left it, and here's Turgeon. He's moving up on Gord Murphy. He waits, and Murphy waits, and shot it away. Played that very coolly. Leclerc tries it. Weimer and Leach stop him. Just past the halfway mark of the third period. Boston 1. Montreal no score. The Bruins looking to sweep the Canadiens. Cardinal looking for skating room. You don't find a lot of it here in Boston when you play the Bruins. They're close to you all the time. Poulin shot. Ross stopped that. Here's Skrudland. Pass through center. Carbonneau got it into Cardinal. Weak shot from Moog. Poulin shot it away. And Schneider stopped it at center, spinning away from Duras. Coming back up at the Boston line is Dave Poulin. Racing in. Lazaro's shot is high off the glass to the right of Patrick Roy. Duras falling. There's another Bruin there to help on Lazaro. Duras again. And Juneau uncovered in front of the net. Cardinal trying to stride away from Juneau. Nothing doing. And the Bruins are offside at the Montreal blue line with 8:56 remaining in the third.
Without Ray Bourque, the Boston Bruins have really concentrated on defense. Now watch the Bruins here. All of them line up on the blue line. Everybody takes a man. They have to dump it in. The Bruins are always the first man back, and they're winning all the battles along the boards.
Dave Poulin, 12:08 on a power play in the second period. That's all to talk about in scoring in this game so far. 25-23 of the shots in favor of Boston. 1-0 Bruins as Dion comes out. Muller takes his pass, goes up over the line, can't drive to the net. There's Savard. He's in back of the goal, and Adam Oates chased him. Savard took it back. Savard's backhander, Moog saved it with the glove. And the crowd loves that. They stand and applaud Andy Moog's save.
Rick Bowness and Gordie Clark behind the Boston bench have to be pleased with their defensive zone coverage. Danny Savard creates some chances, but look at Sweeney and Murphy. There's Sweeney on Gilbert Dion. Takes him right to the net. And he had the puck before Dion got there.
There's Don Sweeney. He's logged plenty of ice time in this series. Weak shot by Savard misses. Cooler. Speaking of logging ice time, on the ice again with Doris. 8:15 left in the third. Savard. Pass onto the skate. Hill moved it very well. And the Bruins lost it up the line. Dion comes in with Muller. Savard goes to the net, didn't see the puck. And Doris comes back out. Gord Murphy and Lazaro up there with him. Backhand Doris on the backhand, and Waugh the save. There's Denny Savard. Long shift for Savard. He stopped at the line. Wants to get off, and there he goes now. 7:35 left in the third period. Canadians trying to solve the hungry Bruins. They'll really come at them. They keep the puck in. That was Wesley that time. It's Leach around the net. Waugh covered up on the post. Juneau has it. Joe Juneau to the corner with it. He was flattened. Brisebois takes it, put it on the boards, and got it down the ice. But it's the Bruins coming back. Hervey back there, touching it, icing. Called against Montreal. 7:05 left in the third period.
If you're looking for a little excitement, a shot in the arm, or something with a bit more punch, check out the Stanley Cup Playoffs. Sports Channel America, the network home of the NHL.
The Rangers have a 2-goal lead. Messier with a pair. They're in the third period.
Crowd applauding the Boston Bruins on this face-off in the Montreal zone. They know it, the Bruins know it. If they could get one more, likely that would be more than enough. Boy, this is great checking by Boston. 6:48 remaining in the third. The Canadians shoot it in, looking to tie it here now. But the Bruins are all back. This time, Weimer did get it too high, and it's over the glass.
We saw that. We saw the stat that we had on about the comebacks in best-of-7 rounds since the NHL adopted the best-of-7 format in 1939. The Canadians have been swept in 4 straight games only once. That was the now much-discussed Detroit-Montreal series of 1952. They were swept twice recently in best-of-5 series by Edmonton 81 and Buffalo in 83, which is significant for Buffalo fans because the Sabres haven't won a playoff series since. The Bruins have. The Bruins have won the playoff championship of the Adams Division each of the last 2 years, and they are 639 away from making it 3 in a row.
Keane stopped Murphy, but there was Weimer. Take up the slack. Desjardins couldn't stop it. Forced back, 3 Bruins, 2 of them in deep. Forechecking for Boston. Canadians move it up. Gilchrist trying to get a shot. He's tied up. Here's Schneider. He tried to shoot one right into Bob Sweeney's pads. And Reed shot it in for Boston. 6:10 left in the third. Canadian Schneider trying to carry the puck out. Running into the Boston player and flattening Lazaro. Wesley shoots. That's blocked. Bruins are on it in there. To the goal mouth. Scramble for it. Draw down. There was Dave Poulin. He nearly got one for Boston. Leclerc back up with LeBeau, and he's turned back by Don Sweeney. 5:40 remaining in the third. 1-0 Boston. High step made contact. It doesn't get any closer, and the crowd appreciates it. Up they get again. Great effort by Boston. But it is not over yet. 5:34 remaining in the third in Game 4. A Boston win, and they go on.
Matthew Schneider on Jeff Lazaro right there. Good solid hit. Look at the look on Matthew Schneider's face. The Canadians aren't out of this yet. Watch Dave Poulin gets alone in front. Both Canadian defensemen ignore Poulin, and he can't pull it to his forehand by Patrick Roy.
Juno, Leach, and Donato. Canadians Turgeon. Oh, a chance right there by Leach on a giveaway inside the line. Patrick Roy was alert. Good thing. Boston in there for checking again. Leach gets out in front with the pass. Canadians do not clear it out. Long shot missing. There's Donato on the puck. Got it back to the line. Murphy shot it into the corner. Around the net. It's centered again. And it's Leclerc of the Canadians who comes up with it. He's in with Turgeon. Hit hard by Murphy. Hip check sent him flying. The Bruins are rolling now. Juno all alone. Carried it all the way. Then lost it. Montreal up to Savard. Bob Sweeney grabbed him from behind. 4:25 left in the third period. 1-0 Boston. And they don't want to sit down anymore here in Boston now. Shot ahead on the boards to Sweeney and Oates. Oates goes in. Stalled a bit, then pass one in front. LeBeau got back with Dion, and Dion shot it ahead, but Muller was stopped. Savard made a couple of quick moves. Muller and Dion go in. Offside at the Boston line. 3:59 left in the third.
These guys aren't playing it close to the vest, John. You pointed out Schneider on Lazaro. Now here's John Leclerc, and Gord Murphy nails him up and over, and the crowd went nuts when that happened. Good check.
Good solid check by Gord Murphy, who plays much larger than he is. Don Sweeney plays much larger than he is. You look at that Bruins defense and the way they played in this series, they've all played like they weigh about 215, 220.
This game is somewhat like last night's game in Chicago. You have a first-place finisher against a second-place finisher. The first-place team can't get a goal. In this case, the Bruins got theirs earlier than Brett Sutter's goal last night for the Blackhawks.
Canadians dressing 5 defensemen for this game. So you have to wonder about the likes of Desjardins, Daigneault now, Schneider, Brisebois. Long shot deflected off the goal, and that is offside. 3:51 left to play in regulation time.
J.J. Daigneault tried to cross up Andy Moog. Moog thought it was going to be just a shoot-in, and Daigneault fired it towards the net. Moog had already taken a step behind. Canadians, Denny Savard has been paid special attention by Lazaro, Bob Sweeney, and a cast of Bruin checkers there. Lazaro with the hands on Savard to make sure he's close by.
Desjardins, no place to go with it. Shot it down the ice. Don Sweeney back. 3:40 left. Muller in there, kicking it out front. A backhand shot, rebound. It's swept away from the goal crease. Wesley's pass through to Juris. He's in there with Dave Poulin with a drive on the short side. There's Poulin. Around the net, Lazaro. Look out! Wall was down. It was nearly banked in off the goaltender. But Patrick Waugh jammed the pad on the post. 3 minutes and 16 seconds away from a shutout and a win for Boston.
We'll have our Molson 3-star selection at the end of the game. You've got to think of Andy Moak, and yet I know, John, you were saying between periods that really in the first two, although he had blanked the Canadiens, he hadn't been all that busy. He's had some tough stops to make at times here in the third. Nothing in the way of sustained pressure, but a few very tough, quick saves.
His team has really been good at getting the second shot. And again, the Canadiens with some good pressure. Andy Moak makes the first save, but then look at the Bruins come to his rescue. Nobody gets to the rebound in time as the Bruins clear it.
And Dave Poulin has the only goal in the game, and he's done everything for Boston in this one tonight. 12:08, the power play goal of the second period. That's all to talk about in scoring so far. 30-25 are the shots in favor of the Bruins. 3 minutes left in the third period. They cheer every time it goes by another minute. It's 2:55 now. And the puck is shot high down inside the Boston line. Cornell chasing Weimer. Weimer's pass to Leach. Back to Weimer. He got as far as center. Here's Gilchrist for Canadiens. Going in. Cornell can't get the pass. Cornell centered it. Bruins cover. Out it goes. 2:25 left in the third.
Here's another good chance for the Canadiens where their execution has been like that this whole series. The Gilchrist pass into Russ Courtnall's skates. It's been like that this whole series. They haven't been able to take a pass. They haven't been able to make a pass. A quality chance of 4-on-2, and they just can't make it happen.
Well, the Penguins have moved to within one in Pittsburgh. A goal by Ron Francis. The Rangers lead by one. Third period in Pittsburgh.
Third period in Boston. 1-0 Bruins. 3-0 in the series. 2 wins at the Forum. 6-4, 3-2 in overtime on Peter Duris's goal. 3:12 into the first overtime period. They were hinting sweep at the time. Then Boston 3-2 on Thursday. And they're talking sweep tonight. Leading 1-0. Adam Oates is ready. He's against Kirk Muller. Here's Savard slipping it back to Daigneault. Shot hit Sweeney. Lost his stick. Carried Daigneault down to the ice with a couple of hits. Here's Daigneault. Shot it in. 2:10 left. Muller stopped it with a skate on the boards on the right side. Oates was there to get it out. 2 minutes left. That is Daigneault turning deep in his own zone. Bruins, Oates, Reed, and Bob Sweeney forechecking. But they can't stop the Canadiens rushing out. Desjardins shot it in and charged after it. Wesley was back first. Will try to clear it for Boston. He doesn't. It's kept in by Dion. Dion to the corner. Out of the net comes Patrick Roy. The extra man is on. A minute and a half left. Do or die now for the Canadiens. Puck is shot on the glass. Not out. Canadiens keep it in. Schneider backhands it in there. 1:15 left. The net empty at the other end. Canadiens pulling out all the stops. Reed gets it out. 1-0 Boston. 1:05 left. Net empty. Canadiens going in. Centered, but the shot stopped by Moog. Into the final minute. Shot out again by Boston. Is this the season ending for the Montreal Canadiens? Yes. It's going to be Peter Doris. Empty net. Over. goal at 19:15. That's the second of the night for Boston. That'll do it.
All the little battles along the boards. Another one won by the Bruins ends up in the Peter Doris goal. And look at their bench. They're celebrating already in front of Rick Bowness, and boy, those Bruins deserve credit for this series. We talked about the work ethic before game one, and it's that work ethic that has carried them through here in games 3 and 4.
And it's going to take quite a while before they play the last 44.8 seconds in this one. This ice is totally littered, mainly with brooms and whisks and all of that from the sweep. And of course, the picture tells the story at the other end. And Pat Burns in behind the Canadiens bench knows that the media vultures are circling even lower.
You look at the chances the Canadiens had tonight. Andy Moog was good, but he wasn't pressured. There was very little sustained pressure by the Canadiens.
Andy made a pretty good stop in that last sequence, John, off Dion. It was a quick, low shot. Not that toughest stop, but a good, timely save. And I found myself thinking back to the 7th game last year. Now, the Bruins didn't get an empty net goal in that one, but the Canadiens were storming inside the blue line, much the way they were there. What Montreal didn't get, of course, was the face-off. And they one of those situations, you just kept going round and round, and as you say, the Bruins kept dumping it along the boards, dumping it out. And finally, they dumped it out all the way, and Duras had to step on the Canadiens' defense.
Look at Patrick Waugh. He has played well tonight, and Patrick bounced back, had a strong game, had no chance on the goal that was scored on a rebound goal, and now the empty netter. But you can blame Patrick for all the games you want, but if you don't score any goals, what's he supposed to do? Go down and pop a couple himself?
Well, you know, if you go back to 2 nights ago, Mike Keane scored a goal in the 2nd minute of play. And from then till now, which is like almost 3 full periods, almost 2 complete games, the Canadiens have scored just 1 more goal.
And really, gentlemen, this is incredible. When you come into Boston from the Montreal Forum, down 2 games, it's always tough. But you do have a chance. And then you learn that Ray Bourque won't rest for game 3. So you got to get a lift from that. The team that really got a lift is the Boston Bruins, because they got together better than ever. And what an effort they've shown here in Boston. And I mentioned names before like Glenn Murray and Gordon.
After killing off a 5-minute major, Pittsburgh gets a goal, and it's a bad one, given up by Mike Richter. Ron Francis outside the blue line. That cut the Rangers' lead to 4-3. Just over 1 minute later, Jaromir Jagr comes sweeping in. Troy Loney unchecked in front. He beats Mike Richter. This game is tied at 4. Richter's out. Van Beesbroek is in.
Andy Moog at the other end, solid throughout. And you look at Adam Oates and the star quality of Adam Oates, the only player in this series with a point in every game. He had a point again tonight. And the Craig Janney trade and Oates playing. You look back when Oates came into the league with Ray Staszak, and everybody said they were both soft players, and Adam Oates has really blossomed into a star.
One thing the Bruins did this year with the infusion of the talent sort of after the Olympics, they say here in Boston they had 2 training camps. One in September, and the other after the Olympics when they brought in the kids out of both the U.S. and Canadian Olympic teams and moved them right into the lineup. And there's a guy who I can tell you late in the season, the media had him fired here in Boston. We mentioned the other night how there was a headline in a Boston paper about a month ago before the strike, and it was tick, 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 Rick. Well, Rick Bowness isn't in that position right now. Well, I can tell these members of the Canadiens, like Brent Gilchrist, that the last time a team wearing this uniform, Mr. Cherry, he's too busy signing autographs for you, but last time a team wearing a Montreal uniform was swept, they had players on that team like Maurice Richard, Elmer Locke, Doug Harvey, pretty good hockey players. It happens. And here's the guy who's going to be in tough in Montreal, and I just wish the hockey team would not let Pat drift in the wind and settle it once and for all about him being the coach of this club.
Another team with some pretty good hockey players. Who knows now what it's like to be swept in a Stanley Cup playoff series from
hamstrings, exactly.
So it can happen.
You look at the Canadiens bench, and how many of those faces will be back next year? Mike McPhee not dressed, Chris Nyland not dressed. Will they be back? I wonder about Brian Strudlin. Russ Courtnall was in and out of the doghouse all year long. And after this, you can bet the Canadiens will make some changes.
Well, only 44.8 seconds left, so the official time of the goal by Joris into the empty net is 19:15, making it 2-0 Boston. And now it's ticking down again. But the ticking this time is a pretty good sound for Mr. Bonus in behind the Boston bench. Canadiens move it up, and Roy leaves the net again. 25 seconds remaining. Canadiens fighting for it, fighting for their lives to the last second. It comes to center. 15 seconds left. That'll be it. Back in the Boston zone. Moog, the shutout. Puck down the ice. This will miss the net. 3 seconds left. It's over, folks. The Bruins in a sweep. Moog in a shutout. The Canadiens are gone, and the Bruins move on. There they are, the happy Boston Bruins, the dejected Montreal Canadiens, and the Bruins celebrate and get ready for the next round.
One of the reasons Rick Bowness is pretty popular with his players, you saw him go over and immediately congratulate the trainer, Ken Flager. And now Guy Carbonneau shakes Rick Bowness's hand as he leaves. And look at Andy Moog. Big reason this lunch pail gang Bruins have swept the Montreal Canadiens has been the player of their goaltender, Andy Moog. I can't recall any bad goals at all in this 4-game set.
I wonder if the Canadiens not only will change some faces, John, but also change their philosophy a bit. They've really zeroed in on the defensive type players in the draft and what have you. There's Andy. Try to take the mask off, Andy. Let's look at you. I know this. The next time the Montreal Canadiens play a National Hockey League team, they'll play the Chicago Blackhawks on the 12th of September at the Wembley Arena in London, England, as part of the training camp. And there's Andy going off.
Sweep says it all. Boston wins 2-0 and wins the series 4-0. Let's take a look at our Molson player of the game. We salute Dave Poulin. He had the series-winning goal, a power play goal of the second period. Boston in 4. We now pause for a regional break.
You've heard of March Madness. Well, it's May Madness on SportsChannel with the NHL Playoffs. Follow the Wells and Campbell Conference battles as the best teams fight their way to the Stanley Cup Playoffs. We'll bring you dozens of games from around the league and across the continent. The Boston Celtics begin another trek to the top of the NBA when playoff action comes to the Boston Garden. Spring Fever hits with live coverage of the ECAC baseball tournament. Get ready for the World Cup with the U.S. World Cup team as they challenge Scotland and Ireland in live telecast. It's all right here on SportsChannel.
34 now for Lewis. Inside Pinckney. What a play by Bagley that time. Celtics are going to go to Bird. He'll take it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the Dockers Save of the Night. It belongs to Montreal goaltender Patrick Roy. Let's take another look as Roy uses the glove hand to stop Glenn Wesley. Spectacular. The Save of the Night is brought to you by Dockers. Nobody does colors like Dockers.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs brought you 16 teams, 54 games, over 350 goals, 7 overtimes, and 2 double overtimes.
Marco can't pull the trigger, gets it up, and they go!
Now, 8 teams move on to round 2, the division finals. Boston, Montreal, New York, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Detroit, Vancouver, Edmonton. Follow the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the network home of the NHL, Sports Channel America. If you're looking for a little excitement, a shot in the arm, or something with a bit more punch, check out the Stanley Cup Playoffs. Sports Channel America, the network home of the NHL.
Bob Papa back in our Sports Channel America studios in New York. Due to NHL blackout laws, we cannot take you to Pittsburgh to see the end of the Rangers and Penguins. Let's get you caught up on all of the scores, though. They're in period number 3. The Rangers and Penguins are tied up at 4 apiece. Troy Loney and Ron Francis score a minute 25 apart in the third period. Mike Richter has been pulled from this game. John Van Beesbrook is now in this contest. Meanwhile, the game that you just watched, the Boston Bruins defeat Montreal 2-0, and they sweep the best-of-7 series 4-0. It is the first time since 1952 that the Canadiens have been swept in a 7-game series. That's 75 7-game series ago. Our action on Sports Channel America will continue tomorrow night. It's game number 5 of the Smythe Division Final. The Edmonton Oilers and Vancouver Canucks at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. The Oilers can wrap up this series at the Pacific Coliseum tomorrow night on Sports Channel America. Well, after this timeout, we will take you to ringside on Sports Channel America, and when ringside is completed and the Ranger game is a final score, you will see the replay of the Rangers and Pittsburgh Penguins. All that and more after this timeout on Sports Channel America.